When you're working with your detail views in your AutoCAD architecture project, you can add more detail from the tool palettes. Now, at the moment, all I've added is that acoustic insulation there in the previous video. Now, what we want to do is add some brickwork to the bricks. For example, you might want to add some external plasterboard, for example, to the inside edge of the wall, and so on and so forth. Now, bear in mind, these blue lines are purely an outline. They're a section through. So what you want to do is add as much information to the detail as possible, and then obviously notate that in your AutoCAD architecture project so that people know it's that particular type of brickwork. So if we go and look at our tool palette detailing again, I'll right click there and just make sure I'm in detailing. And what you want is you want the exterior tab here. Now, we used the exterior tab earlier when we went through and looked at all of the different tabs that are available. Now, you'll notice you've got a standard 65mm brick course with a 10mm joint there. If I click there like so and come into the drawing, obviously the properties palette kicks in, bless its little heart, just to take up a little bit more of my screen. But what I can do now, can you see the setting out point there? If I zoom in real close, can you see the setting out point for that joint? I can place it on the corner like that. And as I drag upwards, it adds more bricks. Now, I'm not saying that this is a perfect fit or anything like that whatsoever, but what you can do is obviously with your detail views, if you use the detail views as the setting out for your details, if you see what I mean. So I'll go up to that end point there, and what I might do is I might pop some more brick in this way, but you'll notice when I click, I can then actually rotate it and get it to fit. So I can come this way, but you'll notice I'm coming along that way outside, which is not what I want. So I'll hit escape once and just click on the brick again. And this time when I come in, I obviously want to use this point and then rotate it like that. And can you see I'm adding more bricks to my detail? Now, this isn't a perfect detail. I'll quite happily quote that it isn't. But the idea being is you're adding all of this detail to the detail. And then what you can do is you can save that like so, and then when you go into your detail sheet, obviously the reference file, there's the URL, you'll need to update it, and you can see the changes there. Now, if I zoom in real close, you can see how much more detail I've got on that wall corner detail just by adding those bricks. And that's the whole idea of these detail views, is to make things a lot more obvious. So, for example, the bricklayer now knows, obviously, to lay those bricks in that particular direction. Now, that is by no means a perfect wall, I hasten to add, but you get the idea. You've also got that it's D101, the wall corner detail. Now, you may have noticed this rather large grid in your detail view. Now, that is for setting out purposes only. Let me show you what I mean. If I come down here to the D100 Details tab and right-click and just jump into Plot a moment, you'll get the little message there saying batch plot. I don't need to batch plot. I'm going to plot a single sheet. Now, I'm not going to set any settings. I'm just going to preview it. You'll notice when I preview that, can you see the outline isn't there, but the brickwork is? And that's the whole idea of these detail views, is the ability to add all of the detail from the tool palette and then create nice, clean, concise details for people to read. I'll just exit that plot preview and cancel the plot command there. So the whole idea is that you're developing these detail views, which can then be called out, obviously, at places around your AutoCAD architecture model. So that's how you can add more detail, in essence, to your details.